Ohayo! My name is Minamitoku and welcome to a game called The Beginner's Guide. Now I heard that this is created by the same guy who created the Stanley Parable, so I wanted to play it because the Stanley Parable was a great game. It's also supposed to be a narrative game, so let's just get into it, I guess. I actually have no idea what I'm getting myself into. Please make sure audio is on. Yes, I can hear the birds. Controls. Yes, thanks. Wasp and mouse, as always, I guess.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
Oh, hi.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these
Coda.
games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff.
Okay.
And his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike.
Oh,
You can
cool.
walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
Yeah,
And
I
of
just
course,
wondered
it
that.
destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator.
What the
It's like
heck?
a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like
Yeah.
about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I
And
want us
what
to
does
see
this
past the
say?
games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Oh, cool. I'm
So,
excited.
It's 2008. Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them
Never?
onto the internet. He just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
Okay.
And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's
What the heck?
recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made,
Okay.
until suddenly one day, he just stopped.
He
In
stopped.
2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together.
Oh,
is
cool.
because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like
Nice
you
goal.
who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular
problem.
interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com.
Am I
Okay,
supposed
that's
to...
about it for introduction. Let's
write
take a
that
look at
down?
Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
November. Good. But holy cow, you talk a lot. What is... What the heck? Oh good gosh, a shooter.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay. Which way? Also, I don't like shooter games. Okay, I can shoot, but it doesn't make a sound. Which is interesting. Okay, it didn't matter. Also, the Counter-Strike map was beautiful, but yeah, I don't like shooter games, so I would never be able to see that.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere.
Yeah.
But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
Oh,
You can't
it
even
does
reload
make
the
a
gun when
sound.
you run out of bullets.
Really?
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized.
Oh, here now. What is? Oh. This is beautiful.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this road.
Yes, bottom of the universe. Nicely done, nicely done. So yeah, but it's just... What are those 3 dots? It just makes you like anxious. Makes you like expecting, like you said, expecting that there is someone or something chasing you as a player, but there isn't. Oh, good gosh.
Apparently, the space station has a labyrinth on it.
Yeah, I noticed.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past
No,
it.
no, 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 no. Why would you do that?
Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Well, I wanted to solve it, but nah. If I get lost, I'm not sure if I can come back here, so no, I'm not gonna solve.
This is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Yeah. So, the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room.
Yeah?
You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Oh. So basically what she asked me to do is like basically committing suicide and in turn save all. Probably all of humankind, maybe. Or
This is not a branching point, unfortunately. The only option is to step into the beam.
I know, but thanks for reminding me. But this would be a hard decision in real life.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just
nice death
experienced,
scene.
stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he
Probably,
first
yes.
compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Okay. So this is what happens instead. Good. Oh. Floating?
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. November 2008 again. The past was behind her. I can't... Oh.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh, really? The past was behind her. So, seems normal? It's difficult to navigate through this. Because if you don't...
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Why does the future keep changing? What about that? Oh, there's... it's hard to navigate. Why does the future keep changing? I don't know. Does it actually? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. What becomes clearer? Where am I actually go? Oh, hi there, wall. Where am I actually going? But the future is always behind her. Wait, how will she find the strength? Yeah, now... Huh? First of all, the past was behind her, and then the future was behind her? What is that? I guess, yeah, the future is behind the player, because I'm walking backwards. To confront
It's a short
it?
little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Yeah. Next. Oh. Hello? Oh, I can walk forwards this time. Good gosh. Huh? But I can only walk forwards this time. Well, or in straight lines. I can't go left and right that much. You are now entering. Entering what? Those little games are awesome as they are, but do they really
And that's it.
convey
Okay,
a meaning?
the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Boy. Okay, so I'm nonsense.
Oftentimes,
is
Coda
nearly
would put
every
bizarre
direction.
titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would
Okay.
really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? I know it's tempting, but there's actually nothing over here. Sorry.
There's an invisible wall. Okay. At least I can jump and I can walk in every direction. So there is really nothing else to it except those stairs. So you want me to go up those stairs that lead to this building like block or whatever? Okay. Let's do it then. Go up, 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 go up. What is...
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay. So otherwise you wouldn't be able to enter there. Or what? Okay. So you would be stopped like just before you go. Is that it? So what's in... Hi there. Whoa. Play as a pair of floating eyes emitting footsteps noises. Whoa. There's too many of them. I can't read all of them. You construct the wall. The wall is destroyed.
A
You are
room
given
that's warm
metal.
and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
A game of only motivational quotes played one after the other while the player cannot move.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It
Yeah.
can be a very slow climb to get there.
True that. A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate game. Oi! I want to read those. Ready, set, fish. This doesn't look like fish. What is this? It just keeps teleporting me into new games and I can't even like say something about those games. It's just too abrupt. But I guess for a player, as it is, makes sense. Door.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
So this is his first puzzle. So this opens the door. And then... and then... and then what? Oh, there's black mist coming out from there. Is there something hidden here? Where? Ah, there. There's just black walls. Wait, can I? Oh! That's clever.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Also, another set of those 3 dots. What do those 3 dots mean? I don't know. I saw them in that whisper machine the first time, right? Okay, so you cannot climb up back here. Okay, this part here looks a little bit strange. Just a latch from here. So, like, because like the narrator projects meaning into everything, I'm starting to look for special meanings too. But this, I don't know.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. Enter. Oh! What the actual heck?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Holy cow.
Either
Can I
way,
walk
I
those
think
corridors?
that the point is the same. Is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So
Yeah.
if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I don't know. Again? Again? You are now exiting. Okay.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
You're just moving me between games. The Great and Lovely Descent. Oh, hi there. For some reason this reminds me of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. There was also like, you came down a hill like this, and your goal was to get to a house like this at one point in the game.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which
Yep.
determines what the game can and cannot do.
Okay.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Yep.
To make all of these
Streetwise
games,
Fool.
Coda is using an engine called Source.
Oh,
Like all
Source
engines,
engine.
Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine
can-
does well.
Ooh,
The tools
what the
available
heck?
to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying
That
attention
too.
to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Yep. What wasn't Portal running on the Source engine too? Because those boxy corridors seem kind of familiar. Oh, hi there. Also, as an ex-student of East Asian art history, like we once discussed during class, like, does it really make sense to search for a meaning behind something, behind a piece of art, or even behind a piece of literature? Does it really make sense to look for something like that? And crap. Like, he does the same, like, here now. He just searches for meaning. I mean, if you can't ask the creator himself, you won't get, like, you can speculate all you want. You don't get to see the real meaning behind those things. So for me, this is kind of ambiguous to look for meaning in those kind of games, but apparently he likes to do that. Also, I can't get into the middle of this thing. Is this supposed to have some sort of meaning too? I don't know. But let's get on with the ride here. Did you open that door down there? And there isn't anything here, right? Well, maybe there's those 3 dots hidden somewhere, I don't know. And yeah, I like to look around a lot, so sorry about that if that disturbs you. But it's just, I don't know, it's just beautiful. What are those noises? Where do they come from? What is this? A prison? Or, like, it reminds me of, like, a farmhouse, and cattle and other animals are just living in this kind of environment. Did you just glitch out? Yeah, there's something going on with this pole here. So I have to get in here, right? Oh, well. Oh, this is an elevator? I didn't know that. I wanted to go there. Here? I can't. Okay. Then you
This
just...
prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Really?
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, thanks.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There was.
What the heck? What the heck? It seems like a little bit of a crazy person. This room seems similar to the one I came from. And another stairway down. I also can't go here, right? Yeah. But that's a nice joke there, Coda. Good gosh. Playable games. But yeah. I mean, it was his decision. Like, as a game creator, it's your decision how much playable you want to make it. And for Coda, this was the more interesting way to create games. Also, the 3 dots. Again. Why isn't the narrator saying anything about those 3 dots?
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Oh, well. But why?
There's still no
Why
clear
do this?
indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. I want to hear that. So we have to go down here, right? Well, Coda really has an eye for like creating like amazing environments. Also nice music choice. So yeah, like aesthetically, this is really, really nice. Those long corridors, even if they're boxy. What? No one. And well, the door closed, so... You there, did you come from
Here,
up
Coda
above?
begins using a kind of dialogue system
What was
that
up
he
there?
fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Okay. Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating colored blocks. Oh, wait. So 1 is like when we entered this particular game. Enormous prison was like on the way down. And floating colored blocks, I didn't see any of them, but except in the first game. So I would go for 1 or 3. But which one is the right choice? Is there even a right choice? Let's go for 1. Okay, the numpad doesn't work. 1. Stand up. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. This was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go for any puzzle. I prefer not to tell you after we've only just met. Let's go for 1. Just speak. Again, perfect. Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. The door is closed. So I don't remember. I didn't solve it. Or trust me, you don't want to go over there. Well, I can remember. And I found a solution on my own. But, well, so then someone told me that it was the same puzzle as before. So let's go with 3. This one. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise. I couldn't read that. Oh, the other door opened. Can I get actually up here? No, I can't. I can't get up here. There's books lying on the table. I wonder I wonder if they say anything, but I can't get up here. I wanted to read those books. Oh, another chamber. Door closed. Hi there. Hello. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? I've been right here this entire time. Or, yes, do you want to know? To solve it? Let's go with 1. No! We actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? The black space between the doors? What black space? Actually, now that you mention, if I remember feeling strange that passed through it. I don't recall space between the doors. Don't worry, I'm sure you will visit it again soon. Be sure to pay close attention. Oh, you mean the puzzle? During the puzzle? Yeah, that was intriguing too, a little bit, but there's nothing much more to it, I guess. Or is there?
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Oh, well, nice for telling me that. Is there anything like a little Easter egg or something? No. Oh, the music changes. So wait, is this the black space you're talking about? A lamppost?
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't
Where
tell
did
you
it come
quite why,
from?
but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
Maybe.
We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
So it's the same idea then. Also, nice lamppost. Oh, no, this time you just fade out. Well, April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. How can I leave notes? Here? Nice room. Not. So, but before I'm gonna play this level, I will end this episode before that, because I've been recording for about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's, I guess, enough, because I want to keep the episodes like about 30 minutes. But yeah, interesting game concept overall. Well, it's like an Inception. It's like a game about games, and like those are connected through like a storyline. I don't know, but as far I like it. But as I said before, like, so looking for meaning in everything, it's not my thing to do per se. Well, of course we look for meaning in everything, because I guess it's a human trait, maybe, but there could be no meaning at all, or no intention. Maybe Coda just wanted to create some games and just played around with some concepts. Maybe there is no meaning behind all of this, but now you show me the lamppost, which is going to appear at the end of every game. So maybe that lamppost might be important. I don't know. Well, you said it was important, so yeah, I'd like to hear your explanations a little bit. So As far as this video goes, I will end it now, so thanks everybody so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay true to yourselves.